starting. Oh, but you're gonna hit.
Yeah. You tell me.
Okay, we're about ready. She has 30-second one.
Give me the minute mark. How much time? About 45 seconds. I don't know if that's true. Time on your computer. Something like 8:30.
8:30 on my clock, too.
30 seconds.
Is the air conditioning off?
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think it is. Welcome back to Fast Politics. I am your host, Christopher McFarland, and I gotta say, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining me again, where we can break down the incredibly fast, incredibly political dynamics going on in our country, and in fact the world. So much to discuss tonight. We're gonna have on the show our favorite conspiracy theorist, Tony Patton. Danielle Flanagan will be here to offer a liberal insight. And of course, we're going to be closing out the show with our favorite conservative co-host, Matthew Schneider. But first, let me start off, as we always do, with Common Ground. I want to praise Megyn Kelly on Fox News. She had a on his anger issues. It was spectacular. Please Google it. It's really quick. It's a few minutes online. You don't usually see this kind of thing on Fox News, but Newt Gingrich was actually accusing Fox News of being liberally biased, to which Megyn Kelly actually said into the camera, "Really?" It was a great moment. But I also want to give a little shout out to Donald Trump and Mike Pence. A little thank you to them because it appears they've stopped campaigning. Yeah, all those down ticket ballots all those fundraisers they were going to do, yeah, not happening now. I'm not sure if that's because folks have asked them not to attend, or if Donald's just busy now and has other things to focus on, like Donald Trump TV. Either way, I think it's good news. I think it's good news that there's less Donald in the air. So now, what we're going to go to next, of course, is the musical rant portion of our show. It's one of our really standout segments. After that, we'll be going through the fast sheet, and then, of course, we'll have our guests on the show as we discussed. And at the end, a little summary from me about where I think this is all headed. But as earlier mentioned, we're going to shift now to our musical rant. And let me also say, please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at @fast_politics. All right, on to the musical rant portion of tonight's episode. The musical rant portion of tonight's episode. Shot through the heart, and Trump's to blame. Don gives Republicans a bad name. A racist dream is what you sell. Discriminate against brown folks, then say they're living in hell. You cheat and lie and steal from me. We'll send you to a prison where you can't break free. Oh, you're an impotent gun. No one can save you. The Republican won. Shot through the heart, and Trump's to blame. Don gives Republicans a bad name. He crushed their dreams, but they wouldn't tell. His first campaign speech was a transcript from hell. Oh, you're an impotent gun. No one can save you. The The Republicans a bad name. Yeah, Don gives Republicans a bad name. Thus concludes the musical rant portion of tonight's episode. Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my little shout out there to the Republicans, as well as one of my favorite musical recording artists, John Bon Jovi. The reason I did that song is because I feel like the Republicans are regretting Donald Trump's involvement. They're regretting their support of him, and I wouldn't be surprised if John Bon Jovi is channeled in future Republican events. But please welcome Anthony Patton. Thank you for joining us. You look very familiar. There's a character I've seen on Matthew's show that strongly resembles you.
Yeah, I have a twin.
You do?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew there was someone walking around with your face besides you.
Yeah, he's from Sicily. He's Guido Corleone.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So he grew up. You guys were separated at birth, and then he grew up
Yeah.
in a different.
Yeah, but we're never in the same room at the same time.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Fascinating.
It's a disagreement we had a long time ago.
Well, listen, Anthony, the reason I wanted to have you on is because, you and I really bond about a couple of different issues. Some people consider them borderline fringe, but for the first time in history, in American history, a major presidential candidate has actually said that she will declassify the Area 51 records as it relates to, what happened back in the 50s. That was interesting a few months ago when Hillary said that. But what became really interesting to me was just a few days ago on October 10th, my alma mater, Cornell University, go Big Red, the physics department put out a paper acknowledging that basically, and I'm summarizing this because it was in a lot of jargon that I think I probably couldn't do justice with, but indicated that in their observation of known space, they were able to detect flashing lights essentially.
Right.
From 234 stars.
Yeah.
So, and they said in a couple of cases, it might be like a chemical reaction. Cases, it's just an accident, and they're currently observing it. Telescopes now can't really observe it closely enough for us to see if there are any extraterrestrials there. But I wanted to talk to you about this because I know that you and I both share an interest and a belief that it's not so crazy to think that there might actually be life out there.
Right.
So my first question to you is, doesn't that make you like Hillary Clinton a little more?
Yeah, I hope she does it, but once I think there's been other presidents or candidates have kind of mentioned around it, and one thing, once they get into office, it always seems to, I think sometimes they don't know the intelligence, and once they're presented with the actual evidence, the promises don't always come through.
Okay.
I'm not. Don't be surprised. Don't hold your breath. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
But we also know that John Podesta, that's
Yeah.
her campaign manager.
Right.
We know that he worked for.
The Clintons in the '90s.
Right, and we also know that he was a big advocate for this release from Obama's administration back in 2014, I think.
Right.
So we know that it's not just Hillary, it's also her campaign chair that have been advocates for this and for the release of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that you would potentially hold her feet to the fire on?
Yeah, I mean, if she's going to
Because
promise
I
it.
will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Now, do you think that aliens are walking amongst us?
Perhaps. I mean, I've watched we all watched the Ancient Aliens, and there's some of the things that happen in the prehistoric times, the dawn of civilization, that kind of don't make sense. And if you have an ancient alien theory, it kind of puts the pieces together. As far as I saw something interesting that they're sensing that the aliens can actually exist on cosmic rays now. So maybe the problem is we're looking for aliens that are kind of like us, or about big.
In an organic form.
Yeah, or maybe they're very microscopic. What if you have aliens, brilliant aliens, then they can come in on a comet or something. They could just fly in like that. That's their mode of transportation. What, they're just microscopic. We're looking for these big things. It's like the Twilight Zone, where they're actually ant-like figures.
Huh.
And they could, what a great way to infiltrate.
I like it. Do you think that illegal alien aliens should have a pathway to citizenship?
I do. I think there needs to be a
That
compromise.
sounded like an alien may have just landed, actually. I'm not sure if you heard that off camera.
Yeah, yeah. We have a hub here on top of the building for space aliens.
Yes.
That's why I wear a tinfoil hat when I'm sleeping in the back.
That is so
backstage.
smart.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so smart.
Yeah, I think there should be a compromise. What I see from the immigration debate is the advocates want the amnesty. They're not willing to give much on their side.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to say that 11 million illegal aliens are going to get citizenship, I'd like to see personally the compromise would be, okay, we'll grant those 11 million, and then on their side, we'll grandfather out that in the future, that the offspring of illegal aliens in the future will not become citizens.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, this was actually what we're talking about, illegal alien aliens, as well as illegal immigration. That was actually on an episode of Supergirl this week. Anthony, thank you. We're going to have to leave it there. And we are going to go to, oh, God, did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you put this up? This Chris Christie graphic, we're going to talk about it later in the show, but this graphic keeps appearing. This has been thinking with Anthony Patton.
I'm going to apply for the State Department because I want to plead the fifth about 90 times.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Up next, we're going to have Liberal Insights with Danielle Flanagan. Hi, Danny.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being back on the show today. So much interesting stuff. Doesn't it just seem like every week I feel like
Oh
a
my
lifetime
God.
has been lived?
I don't know how you do your full-time gig and then try to keep up with all of this.
Keep pace
Yeah,
with all the
like,
stuff
are
that's
you
going
connected
on.
with your family after this? Like,
No,
yeah.
I haven't spoken. Well, actually, my mom is actually supporting Donald Trump.
Is she really?
Yeah,
Wow.
no, she's actually wants to put signs on her car, and she lives here in California. So my mom, I've got one in my family. I just got back from Nevada late last night. 3 of my 4 Uber drivers were all Donald Trump supporters. So it was interesting to speak to them as well.
Incredible.
Really digging deep.
Incredible.
So it's just interesting to be in it because that's a swing state. So I really
Yeah.
wanted to talk because they were all torn, but they were just slightly tilting towards Donald Trump.
Interesting.
So
Still
everywhere
torn
I
at this
go,
point. That's so crazy.
yeah.
It's like Ken Bone.
Yeah. I want to ask you, it looks like we'll be taking back significant ground in Iraq and Syria. Typically, you and I talk about sort of gender issues and racial issues, but
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you specifically about some more sort of global foreign policy, strategic initiative issues. So we'll be taking back Iraq and Syria. It looks like possibly even before Hillary gets into office.
Right.
But that also means that whoever the next president is, will be going into office with serious military strategic conflicts in progress.
In progress.
So I feel like that's like that's like a no-brainer to me. Like Donald Trump
Yeah.
clearly doesn't have the aptitude to do that. But what
I
I'm
think
wondering about, and I hate to frame this like in a gender-oriented way, but I wonder if there is any relationship. I wonder what do you think about a woman for the first time being the commander-in-chief in a scenario like this?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
I think it kind of goes back to like why aren't women able to why is the assumption that we can't make strategic or tactical decisions? We do it every day.
Thank you.
I mean, we deal with it in our households, we deal with it in our church groups, we deal with it at work.
Moment to moment.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because you've got some diva at the job that you have to work around and be strategic and tactical around. I mean, we're constantly doing it all the time, and the assumption that, and we've got history that shows us that women can be powerful and be strategic and tactical and lead their countries.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my question then, spinning on that, is do you think that Hillary will bring something different to the table? From my point of view, we know that one of the sort of like brain differences between men and women is that women are better integrated than men are. Men are better at doing a single task one at a time very well.
Right.
Women are very good at actually multitasking. There's a reason for it. Your brains are more integrated, right? Left brain hemispheric. I actually think that makes you better in tactical decision making, moment to moment. I'm just curious, do you think that, let me ask a general and obvious, do you think that she'll bring more empathy?
Yeah, I think Which is ironic because we saw that with President Barack Obama. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw this man multitask, which blew the stereotype open
Yes,
on that.
I
I mean,
agree.
he's being able to handle multiple things thrown at him at a rapid rate of speed. And basically, the economy was collapsed, the world was imploding, and he managed through all of that.
Save the auto industry. Yeah, we won't list all of his accomplishments.
Exactly,
but it was
300
just
plus
one.
accomplishments, one thing after another. So
Yeah.
if you say that he can't multitask and that she's going to bring anything, yeah, every president that comes to the plate brings something different. And of course,
Sure.
she will too, because obviously now we're focused so much on her gender,
Yeah.
which really shouldn't factor in is what are your leadership skills. I mean,
Yes.
we've got to progress as humanity past just the fact that we're just looking at her based on her gender. Of course, she's going to bring something different to the plate, and hopefully empathy. Obviously, said multitasking, a different perspective. You know, because she's coming from like we were talking about gender identity politics from a female perspective. So this is going to be exciting. I think the opportunity is presented to her. Does she do anything different than President Barack Obama? Yeah, she'll probably have some challenges. So
Yeah.
she's going to now have that legacy from the predecessors,
Yeah.
still that she's having to deal with. So
Shifting to domestic issues, when a Democrat is elected to office, I feel like Democrats are so inclusive in their campaigning because they're literally fighting for everyone's rights, minority rights, women's rights, you name it. It's in a way it's harder for them to actually deliver, in my opinion, because they want to address so many different issues. What issues do you think that you'd want to hold Hillary's feet to the fire on,
Yeah.
in particular? And do you think that she's going to be able to get traction on so many all at once?
I think it's a struggle right now for the Democratic Party because they've made so many promises for so many years. And we've seen some small progression, but we haven't seen a lot of progression. You know, to have to wait till Barack Obama becomes president for some president to decide to get up off his ass and sign legislation for equal pay.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, 2016, why did that
Yeah.
not happen in my parents' lifetime?
In the Lilly Ledbetter Act, although signed right in its first year, women are
doesn't-
still making 72 cents on a dollar. It's still
Yes,
frustrating
and
to me
it
that
doesn't
that's a
retro.
thing.
It just kind of moves forward, and we're still behind. So yes, there are some things with equal pay for social justice, for ending poverty, or balancing that. Veterans homeless, because there's so many veterans in my family. Veterans benefits. Right now, I have a friend who was one of those California veterans who got that enlistment pay taken away from him. So he enlisted 10 years ago, and he's been fighting for the last 8 years to battle the VA with regard to that enlistment pay. So some of this stuff is falling really close at home. So those are the things I want to see, especially around veterans issues, because that's core to who I am.
Yeah.
My family's been serving in the United States military since the beginning
Yes.
of our history here in the United States. So I want to see those things issued. It's ridiculous to have 1 million dropped calls to the Veterans Suicide Hotline. It's ridiculous to have veterans
I
still
didn't realize
today.
the number was that high.
It's 1 million,
and
dropped
of
calls.
course, for our viewers, it's 22 suicides a day.
At
So
22
it's
suicides a day, and to have them committing suicide in parking lots to VA facilities because they can't get their calls taken. And I've been in the VA hospital multiple times in Houston and Dallas as well too, and I know that they're under a huge burden as well
Yeah.
too. So something has to happen on that space. So I want to hold their feet to the fire. And Area 51 too. I mean, I really kind of want to know about that.
Thank you. 5 on that.
Hello.
We have to leave it there. Up next is thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah,
Danielle.
yeah.
As always, love having
Appreciate
you
it.
on the show.
See
Up
you guys.
next, we're gonna have Matt Schneider, our returning co-host.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
Oh, doing your own applause again.
Oh, no,
I
that was
see.
that was the fans. My,
Well,
here's
welcome,
the reality check. Is that the name of this segment?
welcome back to Fast Politics.
I was living in-
We've only got about 10 minutes. So my first question to you is: obviously, it's been an insanely bad week for Donald Trump.
Actually, things are looking up.
Are you ready to concede?
I'd say last week was a bad week. I think things are actually stabilizing.
For Donald or the GOP?
I could care less about the GOP, and
Oh.
I would alert you. Before you said a lot of the Republicans are regretting Trump as a candidate. I don't know what Republicans you're talking to, because let me tell you,
All Republican
Al-
former presidents, all former
presidents,
Republican secretaries
okay.
of state.
Okay, those are
many.
all-
I mean, there is a long list, Matt.
Okay, but you're missing the problem. The reason why Trump
Oh.
is a great person to begin with
Oh.
is because this is a people versus establishment race, and the people are behind Trump. Trump is the people's champion, the people's candidate, and I could care less about the
the
Republican
racist
establishment.
people, or
And you
which
want to
people?
talk about polls? Do you know of the Republican voters right now, more people are still supportive of Trump than they are of Paul Ryan? So what does that tell you? That tells you
That you have a
that
divided party.
the
That's
party
what it
is
tells
not
me.
the party is divided in moving forward with a new direction, one that represents people, not special interest groups, and not entrenched corporate entities and Washington powers like that will be supporting Hillary and that are eager for Hillary to win, because then they will stay in power. So I am. You're going to ask if I'm resigned.
Conspiracy thinking.
If I'm resigned to Trump losing, what I am resigned to is realizing that the powers in this country might be too big and too strong to let a little man like Trump
Oh,
take
a
over.
little billionaire. It's hard to. I love it when he's framed as a victim of the powers that be.
He is a victim. Where did all these women? One of your questions about, am I worried about him being a sexual predator? I think. I'm not worried, because these women, if this was true, they would have came out months ago. Why do they wait in the final 2 weeks when it's too late to even prove or disprove all their claims? The fact is
it too late for them to disprove?
of course it is. And
Wait, you know that he has a child rape case coming up in December, right? I mean, you know.
I
that,
don't know.
Against a
I'm talking about
13-year-old.
conspiracy theories. We're talking conspiracy theories over here.
That's like there's a court.
Trump
date
doesn't
in
need
December.
to rape a 13-year-old. Okay, plenty of hot women are very interested in hooking up with.
Well, the same could be said of any pedophile, probably, right?
Okay, well,
I mean,
Trump's not a pedophile.
No pedophiles
All
need
right.
to rape children.
Well, we don't. Why go down this path again? Because then you have to bring up Bill Clinton, where the worst thing that
Why do
Trump
we
has
have
been
Bill
alleged
Clinton
to do.
has never raped a child.
Trump-
And he's never been accused of raping a child.
He's been accused of raping plenty of women, and Trump. The only thing Trump does is grab people,
By their vaginas.
No woman has said they grabbed him by the vagina. They're all saying
Actually,
they fondled.
multiple women have said that he reached up their dresses.
Oh, you're.
Stating facts.
These
I know.
aren't
It's
facts. These
awful.
are claims.
Facts.
All right.
Urgh.
All right. Well, Bill Clinton
Ugh.
actually ejaculated on women. So, sorry.
Yeah, but they were participating in the encounter.
Not fun.
I'm pretty sure Monica Lewinsky was
Okay, this is the
actually
only
on
way
board
Hillary
with
could have
that.
won, to disqualify Trump.
But see, you're
why not
pivoting
talk
away
about
from
the issues?
Hillary
I'm
and
trying to
talking about Bill Clinton.
I wanna talk
I'm
about the
trying to
issues.
talk about Donald Trump, your candidate.
Okay, let's talk about Trump and the issues.
So-
Why is Hillary better on any issue? Name one issue she's better on. Obamacare is going bankrupt. The borders are wide open. ISIS is on the rise, and instead Hillary's the candidate
gosh.
so that all of this could continue. Trump would change the course of
in
history.
addition to your laugh track, you should have a special effect where steam shoots out of your ears. Because I would like to press that button.
I'm just saying on
throughout
the
episode.
issues. What is Hillary good for? Nobody can tell me.
At that fun
No
dinner
one
that
can
happens every year or after the final debate where they actually sit
Oh,
together.
I didn't know you were going to bring this up, but I'm glad you did.
Hillary reportedly told Donald it was after that dinner. I couldn't remember the name of that dinner.
The Alfred E.
Yeah,
Smith.
yes, the Alfred E. Smith dinner. After that dinner, she reportedly told Donald, after the election, whatever happens, we have to come together, ostensibly, for the American people. I'm just curious, do you want him to do that, or would you prefer the chaos and vitriol because you think that that's how the people can emerge?
Chaos and vitriol, but I would say, do you really think Trump is going to get in an armored tank and take over Washington? What is your worry? Seriously.
Because he's
I assure-
advocating for his... No, Donald
I assure you,
Trump
if
would
he
actually
loses
never,
fairly,
Donald Trump driving anything by himself, I think, is an impossible dream. No, I'm talking about all the crazy, uneducated weirdos and wackadoodles and racists
You wanna know?
that are
Okay.
supporting him
You
very,
wanna-
very clearly. I'm worried about them and their gun ownership
Chris.
and all the crazy things and the conspiracy theories that they talk about.
Okay,
I'm worried about them.
I got 4 words for you. You ready?
Oh, boy.
Don't worry, be happy.
I'm glad you counted those words.
Because let me tell you, you know what Trump will advocate, and people are
slogans.
people are-
Republican slogans.
People are already starting to advocate this on the down low. I'm going to reveal a big secret to you. Are you ready? A lot of Republicans who think Trump has lost are already motivating impeach Hillary procedures. And
I
so
have
Trump
insight from you from the Democratic
and
camp
Trump,
as well.
I'm letting you know Trump will get behind that.
Just so that you know,
we play within the system. Republicans play within the system.
Republicans, there are many Republicans who are already speaking quietly to Hillary about immigration reform as well. Why? Because Hillary has
Because these Republicans
relationships in Congress.
These
Because
Republicans
she gets along with people. Your candidate can't along with anyone.
Okay, these are the Republicans that no Republicans no who are sponsored by the people you
Any kind of
Bernie
leadership-
Sanders,
any
Bernie
kind of
Sanders and
leadership in
Trump
this
would
country
hate. Like Koch brothers like
requires
Hillary
getting
Clinton.
along
You know
with
Koch
people.
brothers prefer Hillary Clinton. Do you know that?
That is not true.
Oh, of course it's
That
true.
is
They're
not
on the
true.
record. I'll send you the tape.
Oh, Matt.
They prefer Hillary Clinton.
They tried to spin it like
They
their
said they will
support-
never support Trump, and AKA, but they didn't say they'll never support Hillary. So the
But they
implication.
are-
And she's,
Donald Trump can't get along with people for more than 5 minutes unless they're praising him or kissing his butt.
well, now they know how
What's
to get
going
along
to-
with him.
But see, that's not how it works in Congress. So
Oh,
what's
sure,
gonna,
why not?
What's gonna? He's not a dictator though. He's not a king.
Of course,
he's
he's not a
just
king.
the
He's
president. He has. I think he has a misconception about how the job actually works. I think he should have done a little research. And
Okay,
homework.
fine.
But
I'll
how
grant
do you imagine when he gets it? Let's say he were elected, hypothetically, in an alternate universe. If he got elected, he would get along with no one, and nothing would happen.
But-
do you not see that? Can you not acknowledge that?
I can't acknowledge that because it's not truthful. He would be restricted. First of all, that's why he would never be a dictator, because he'd be restricted by Congress. That's how government works. We don't have it. Luckily, we have a beautiful constitutional system where no one branch can be too powerful. What are you looking at? My eyes are over here. And so ultimately, Trump is
I'm looking at the steam shooting out of your
Trump
ears.
would compromise. That's
God.
Trump would be able to work. People end up loving him. Everyone who works with him.
What world do you live
I
on?
live in this world. I don't know what world you.
Who loves Donald
Okay,
Trump except
okay,
the Trumpettes?
Okay, can we
I
live?
mean,
Can we live in the world where why don't you care as a person who allegedly likes the truth and is a champion for the people?
allegedly.
Why do you not care about any of these WikiLeaks revelations? Have you even paid attention to
Yeah,
them?
and a couple
Okay.
of them are interesting to me.
A couple
and
of them are
I've
interesting.
asked-
Plenty are
I've asked
interesting.
and concerning, and I've spoken to some Democratic strategists who've said, look, there's actually very clear answers and responses to this. However,
None
just,
that I'm
just
aware
like,
of.
Just like any political fire, if you feed it oxygen, it grows, even if you're able to decompartmentalize it.
First of all,
and the issue
these-
with Donald Trump, strategically, what the Democratic campaign's doing is smart. They're just allowing Donald Trump to implode. They're allowing him to crush himself because
this is
there
what's
is no
so
greater
sad.
enemy of Donald Trump
This
than
is what's so
Donald Trump.
sad. You're falling into the trap that the powerful people want. The media and the establishment are preventing these emails from getting the proper
Matt,
media
let's
attention.
talk about how
because
we
they
got
don't-
these emails. Because the Russians.
Who cares how we got it?
Because Donald Trump
Okay.
advocated for
Okay,
it.
so-
These Russians infiltrated America. They hacked America. I
Okay.
can't believe that you're like. We should actually be You should be objecting to the fact that Donald Trump has advocated for their espionage.
Okay, change the topic. Look at this.
Successful
Look at the shiny
espionage.
object. Go over there, says Chris.
Matt,
I'm trying to talk about a serious
You're
controversial
talking
issue.
about WikiLeaks.
Okay.
I'm talking about WikiLeaks.
No,
and how we got
you're saying
them.
forget about what they're revealing. Don't even. You can't even look. Don't look because it's bad how we got them.
No,
so,
I just
okay.
acknowledged
There's so many
them,
bad
and
things.
I actually just said
Okay,
some
first
of
of
them are
all, it
concerning.
proves-
However, we're not going to get to the bottom of
Okay,
those right now.
one email proves, which is sad for me because I like Obama personally, but one of the emails proves Obama is a big fat liar. Oh no. But you don't want to talk about that, do you? Because the emails prove he knew Hillary Clinton had a private email server because he actually received emails from her and sent them back to her on this private email address.
Why do you
and
think
yet
the
it-
Russians want Donald Trump elected? Why do you think that they're trying to cause these ripple
Because
discussions
they are
about
tired.
Hillary Clinton.
They
emails?
are
They want us to
tired.
get stuck in the weeds.
No
about
weeds.
An
what?
email here, an email
They
there.
want a new world order where
We're
we can
trying to talk
we'll
about
talk.
policy on this issue. and
I'm trying to
who's
talk
gonna be a
about
better
policy.
leader.
I'm talking about policy. All you want to talk about is
You
the
wanna
fact
talk
that
about
Russia
you want to talk
corrupted
about
us.
how Barack Obama is a liar, even though
Don't
you
put it in
used to like
quotes.
him.
Don't put it in quotes. And I like him, but it's not in quotes. It is quoteless. That he's a
Okay,
liar.
keep your hands to yourself. Please keep your hands inside
I'm just
the
saying,
vehicle
pay
at all
attention to
times.
WikiLeaks. You claim to be
Okay.
a fighter for truth.
You know, another woman has come forward and said that
We already
an
talked about
11th
this.
woman has come forward.
They're all liars.
I see. They're all. You know what? I
They
also
get
heard-
along great with Obama.
How would you
They're-
feel? I heard that Donald Trump a couple weeks ago almost dropped Mike Pence as his VP when Mike Pence wasn't supporting him, and I heard that he almost picked Bill Cosby. Would you be okay with that? Would
All
you
right,
be okay
I thought this was
with
a
the
serious
Trump
show. I
Cosby
didn't realize
ticket?
this was an attempt
No,
at
I'm just
Chris's
curious.
stand-up comedy
No,
routine.
I'm just curious if you're okay with that. I just
I'm
wanted
not
to see if
okay
you're on
with
record
that.
with
I'm
You wouldn't
okay.
be. Why not? Why not?
I'm okay. Hey, if you're okay with
Because
Bill Clinton,
Cosby's a
if you're
predator,
okay
but-
with Bill Clinton in the White
Cosby's
House,
a predator, but
you're
Trump
okay
isn't?
with Bill
Okay.
Clinton in the White House.
Okay.
You should ask yourself.
What's next for the GOP? Have the Republicans learned the lessons on Donald, or do you think that they'll
Oh, no.
find a worse contender next time?
We will find an equally great contender.
All right.
Yes.
Well, listen, I have to leave it there. We got to go
Equally
to final.
spectacular.
We've got to go to final thoughts, and to our credits. Listen, this election continues to be exciting. It continues to be entertaining, and as entertaining as Matt and I have made it and have enjoyed it, it is serious. The future of our
Very.
country. This is my final thought,
Sorry.
not yours. The identity of our country rests in your hands, and I hope that you will choose wisely. Think about what the founding fathers' wishes were for us as a nation state, separate from religion, separate from the identity politics of yore, and trying to create a brave new future. Let's get on board that vision. Let's be an American, because if it's fast and it's politics, well, it's fast politics.